Hi book friends, I'm Erin, and this is Erin Go Read. It is Thursday morning, October 3rd. It is my nephew Wolfgang's 6th birthday. Happy birthday, Wolfie. And today is going to be day one of my Victober. I probably do multiple Victober vlogs. So I'm currently reading Gloriana, or The Revolution of 1900 by Lady Florence Dixie. And I'm reading that on ebook. And then I am going to go for a run right now, hence the attire. And first I gotta walk the dog. He is impatiently awaiting right here. If you hear him whining, it's because he knows that I'm wearing shoes, I'm wearing a hat, I put on my heart rate monitor, all these little clues to him that we should be going outside. And on our walk and on my run, I will be listening to the audio performance of Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest and or A Woman of No Importance. I got this on Audible, and it's, I believe it's a collection of several of his plays, so I'll have to see how exactly that's formatted, probably to see which one I end up listening to first. I'm gonna run 6 miles today. I have a 20-miler, my last long run before my marathon scheduled on Saturday, so I better get moving. So funny. So for the rest of the evening, I am gonna make myself some dinner. I'm gonna have some tri-tip and roasted Brussels sprouts. So that sounds delicious. So I'm going to keep reading Gloriana on my Kindle. Now, I'm enjoying the book Gloriana quite a bit, but I don't love reading on my Kindle, just in general. I would much prefer to have a regular book. And one of the things that I'm struggling with in this book, and maybe with a more modern book this wouldn't be the case, but some characters, Lord so-and-so, Mr. so-and-so, first names, where the same character is known by multiple names just based on like titles and stuff. And sometimes I get like mixed up, and it's much easier if I have a physical book to be able to flip back and see, oh, okay, yeah, it is that guy. And I just am not adept at doing that with the Kindle. And so usually I just keep going and hope that the context will kind of help me figure it out. I know that I'm not getting as much out of it as I would if I was reading the physical book of it, but I am really enjoying it, and we have a great twist kind of was revealed, I guess, when I was reading it yesterday, that you kind of are seeing it coming, you suspect that it is true, and then it is true, and we have a female character who is making amazing strides in women's suffrage and women's rights, and just the idea of what a woman can do when given the opportunity. So I'm really enjoying this, and trying to figure out where this is going to go. Check in with you later. It's now Thursday afternoon, about 5:30. I'm home for the day. I am in my comfy clothes and snuggled up with my dog on the couch. I've got postseason baseball on right now. The Cardinals and the Braves are all tied up at 3. I'm casually watching that. I am not a fan of either team. The Giants are my team, and they did not make it to the playoffs, sadly. But this morning, my run went really well, and I was listening to the BBC production of, it's an Oscar Wilde collection performed at the BBC with various actors. Judi Dench is one of the characters, plays one of the characters, and I listened to that for my whole run and then a little bit longer, and it was so good. It was so darn funny. I was just running with a smile on my face the whole time. The characters are so wonderfully ridiculous, and it's just a comedy of manners, a comedy of errors, and basically so it's a play, and we have, I'm talking about The Importance of Being Earnest, if I didn't say that. So we have 2 male friends. Both are called Earnest half the time, and there is a great deal of wordplay and jesting each other, and like it just so wonderful. And the relationships are 2 women that end up getting involved with these 2 men, Algernon and Jack, or as they are both also known, Earnest. And it was just hilarious. And I could have just kept going on today in the car, kept listening, but I kind of wanted the importance of being earnest to kind of marinate a little bit and not get it kind of muddied up with another story right away. You know that I read it recently?
No.
I did. What was that first word?
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you just not say about it.
Why didn't I tell you about it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I did tell you about it. Maybe you just don't remember that I did.
Listen,
We...
what about
Wait, you would have remembered that?
no.
No, what's the first word? We. Next word is could. Bet. Oh, have been. Mm-hmm. Next word is. Oh, we could have been talking about it? Well, we can talk about it now. What do you want to talk about? All this stuff? Can you think of any major themes in it? Like, is he trying to say something like, using satire, do you think? About what? Spell that word for me. P R E S I D. Oh, the president?
Yes.
And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Yes.
About the president?
Yes.
How so? Like in the war on drugs? Hmm?
Yes.
Huh. I never thought of it that way, because there is a point where he goes to the district attorney's convention, right? All high and everything. What is your favorite book? The first word is Fear and Loathing in by Hunter S. And then your second favorite book is? Good. By Stephen? When did you first start really loving to read? Like, around what age? 14? Can you remember what book it was that really got you into it? Really loud. The first word is? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? You read that when you were 14?
Yes.
Wow. How many times do you think you've read it? Say it again.
6.
6? About 6 times?
Yeah.
Good morning. It's Friday, about 6 in the morning. I am on the couch with a cup of coffee. Can't see him, but my dog is right here on my lap. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I have a bit of a morning at home today. On Fridays, typically, I'm at home a little bit later than other days with no one else here. So I need to get some work done before I leave for the gym. So I'm going to do... Excuse me, I need this. So I'm going to do some Bible study first, and then I'll probably read a bit in a nonfiction book I'm reading, The 4 Keys, How to Win Your Business, Body, Relationships, and Mindset by Andrew Stilltoe. Andrew did the same health coaching certification that I did, and this is and he has all sorts of other business experience, and so this is his book related to that. And then I may or may not read some Gloriana this morning. I am 42% through it at the moment. And then I need to do some work, kind of working on my vision, some goal, timetable, kind of really establishing what I want my business to be, how I plan to achieve that. I need to get some of that work done this morning before I head to the gym. And then it's the gym's like 5 minutes away from Sam's rehab home, and it is Friday, which means it's music therapy day, so that's always tons of fun. And then I hope to be able to have a nice reading afternoon at home. while I just kind of prepare for I'm running 20 miles tomorrow, so there's some just logistics. I need to get some laundry done for that and make sure I have the shorts that I want to be wearing for tomorrow, basically, and get my water set up and everything for tomorrow. But other than that, I'm hoping that I can just have a nice reading afternoon.
I said, now, say, Grandma, I'm leaving. She told me she said that the night before, and she said, you were just sound. You know, I knew she was here, and Grandma just, I felt sound.
You awake? Hi. You're handsome. What's the first word?
Yeah.
You're taking? I was taking a little video, yeah. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Turn. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Morning. So I am right now driving away from the car dealership. My car is getting some service done and I have a rental right now. And I am gonna head over to basically the neighborhood of where my fitness classes that I teach at the retirement facility, the retirement community, and basically kill time until it's 8:18 right now, and my class isn't until 9:30, so I should have maybe 20 or 30 minutes where I can read or something at a coffee shop nearby. So I realize I don't think I've actually spoken to you since, sorry about the sun moving, I was going around a roundabout there. I don't think I've actually spoken to you since like Saturday morning before my run. So the run went really well. Very happy with how I felt. I had a nice conversation for the first 12 miles or so. I was with a friend who had brought along a friend with her, and this friend that joined us for the day had actually run the Marine Corps Marathon, which is the marathon that I'm training for. So that was kind of cool. Got to talk to her about that. And then reading-wise, so I am still reading Gloriana, the Revolution of 1900, and I'm less into it now than I was to begin with. We're mostly following this character Gloriana, who is the daughter of Speranza, who had been kind of a wronged woman, and based on the mother's experiences, she really instilled in her daughter basically this sense of you are as good as a man and you should be afforded any rights and privileges, and that including especially opportunity to engage in physical training, in education, and what have you. And so Gloriana ends up growing up to be, we kind of miss a large piece, there we go. We kind of miss a large piece of time where Gloriana as a child declares that she wants to go to Eton, the all-boys, boarding school. And then in the future, she turns out to be Hector d'Estrange, who is a very progressive young political mind who, I believe is when he's at university, he starts publishing papers about basically what if we gave women the opportunities that we give men, and the only reason that women don't achieve the same things as men do is because we assume that they can't and don't give them the opportunity. And so extremely feminist platform and kind of premise premise to this book, and I think it's particularly really interesting that this was written in Victorian times. I would love to know kind of how this was received at the time. One thing right now, there's a kind of a significant event happens in the book, as you know, plot and all, and I'm less interested than I had been before. I guess like the tone has taken quite a different swing at this point, and also just in general, it's a very kind of removed feeling from the characters. So, especially because our main character, Gloriana, exists as two different people. We're not really seeing things from her true point of view. We're being told of Gloriana, we're being told of Hector, and so it feels a bit removed, and I think I'm having a little bit of a hard time connecting to it. Therefore, as this plot change has occurred, it's more difficult for me to be connected to the story, if that makes any sense. In other news, I have started Wuthering Heights. I couldn't wait to just pick it up, and this is a reread for me. I read it in high school, I think my senior year of high school. I remember basically nothing about it. I remember, Heathcliff, Catherine, bad people, the Moors. Like, I didn't even know what the Moors were at the time. I was a little bit trepidatious, but also excited to do this reread, and I am loving it. I am around 75, 80 pages in so far. I love the way that the story is told. We first have Mr. I think it's Lockwood, who is like a new tenant at a neighboring home, a neighboring house, and he first gets introduced to Heathcliff and Catherine and the family like in present time, and then he goes back to where he's staying and he is talking to Nellie, the housekeeper, and the bulk of the novel is told from Nellie's perspective. Nellie telling Mr. Lockwood about this family and all that is gone on. And so I'm really enjoying that. And then as far as I understand, Mr. Lockwood's narration kind of bookends it. So it will end with Mr. Lockwood. So I'm enjoying that quite a bit. And then I'm listening to the audiobook of The Warden by Anthony Trollope. I think I would probably be enjoying it better if I had a physical copy of it, and actually might try to stop by the library today and see if I can pick up a physical copy, at least to be able to reference and peruse a couple of things to clear anything up, the relationships, who belongs to whom, who is on which side of the matter that is at hand, which has to do with the way that money is disseminated based on a will of this former hospital owner, John Hiram, and then who gets how much money and how this will is being interpreted, and making sure that it is true to the will and all. So so I'm enjoying that. But yeah, as I said, I think I would be getting more from it if I was reading the physical book. Sometimes it just works like that with audiobooks. There's some that the audiobook is going to heighten the experience. There's some that you're probably going to lose some when listening to the audiobook form. And I tend to find with classics for me that the audiobook can help as far as it can help with understanding kind of voice and intention of characters, but I feel like the characters can get quite muddied for me, and I have a hard time remembering kind of who is who, especially in a lot of these classic books. People go by multiple names. There'll be their first name, there'll be Mr. this or Miss this or Lord whoever, and so sometimes I find in audio format I just have a hard time keeping track of all that. So anyhow, I am going to close out for now, and hopefully I'll be back with another update for you shortly. So I just had my coffee at a coffee shop down the street, and while I was having my coffee, I read another like chapter and a half of Gloriana, and where I said before that I was kind of uninterested at the moment has changed. So I think I just need to kind of just devote more time to this book and read it in larger chunks than I have been in the last few days. The first 40% of it I probably read quite quickly, and then just based on just things that were going on in my life, just being busy or whatever, it slowed down a little bit. And then in particular, the thing that I just read at the end of the last chapter has me like super interested, and basically this like arch nemesis basically of Gloria's mom, Speranza, who has caused her just so much pain and tragedy in her life, basically only because she was not interested in him. Gloria is wanted for his murder, and Speranza has just shown up, this is Gloria's mom, and says that she just saw him, that maybe he's not dead. So my interest has been re-peaked in this story, and I'm over 60%, 60-something percent through it right now. I'm really hoping that at some point today I can really get in a good reading session of that and make some good progress in that. The other thing is, I woke up at 4:30 this morning, and I think I just like had to pee, but then I was thinking, and I've basically, breaking news here, I've essentially decided that I should write a memoir. And at 4:35 this morning, as I was not falling back to sleep, I was thinking about kind of the way in which that I think I might do this, and just having all these ideas. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to go back to sleep. I just need to get up and get some of this out. So I have this pull right now where it's like I want to be writing and outlining or whatever, and then I also morally want to be reading, and then also just like life, I have responsibilities. So anyway, I gotta go teach my class.